will get a brief note of submission also.
Okay.
And it makes the thing clear. And I am handing over to my friend also. Now,
Let's
my
say we
lord,
have your judgments also.
my
as
lord,
paragraph.
I will not go judgment.
Don't need to.
My lord, but judgment is like a indicative and all that I come like a. But I have again gone through the pleadings, and my first respect was that there is no pleadings at all in law. For that purpose, and once there is no pleading, in terms of our rule and act and judgment, the OA had to be thrown out. And for that purpose, my lord, kindly bear with me for 2 minutes. Come to, if the OA submit, serve upon me correct, my lord may turn to page 22, list of documents. I have given all those details. 22, my lord.
Which one of this component?
My lord,
No. Of the OA.
my lord, both judgment, yeah, my second page दूंगा उसको improve किया. Second page में, my lord, OA.
OA of the OA.
ये निकालिए भाई. My lord will find page 22. Your lordship will see there is no verification. I have mentioned in my written submission. Our rules.
वो जो फॉर्मेट दिया हुआ है अपना
Format है. Or the rule says, lordship, our practice rules provide how, my lord, it is our rule of 1987. उसमें ये provisions है कि process filing, this provision is file and sorry, yes. My lord, first minute. There is no declaration, my lord. I come, my lord, the rule. Appendix, my lord, it is appendix 1, form 1, ground 5, my lord, submission 5. Page 2 of my reason I have mentioned, my lord. Is not application on behalf of law. In as much as the same has not been verified in terms of form 1 procedure 27 as required under rule 4. I will also. It declares that the statutory rule or law requires to do something in particular manner. The same should be done in that manner only. Other modes of performance are permitted. It is a constitution in judgment below. We are fully considering that para 22. Not only that, there is an affidavit. My friend may take it, my lord, it is verified. No. That affidavit comes one more than one. I have given the affidavit is required only when there are more than one person, and one person is required to file, and he says that I have been authorized. So that this is in addition to verification, because what you are required, that you are all the applicants, my lord, there is a practice direction issued recently 2024. Earlier you used to file, my lord. Now, in terms of practice direction, one can file. Either assist or take your seat. Then, my lord, this affidavit is not part of the further. This is not affidavit in law. our I say why, my lord, a basic student of law knows affidavit has to be attested, sworn before. That question is mentioned. I will take your lordship to that. Para 6 of my written submission, your lordship will clearly see. Because first, let us see, my lord, the affidavit. Niranjan, verified so and so, identified. Affidavit contains two portions. One, there is identification in context of the who is the person who has identified the deponent. He then matter comes, the affidavit has to be sworn before a person authorized in law. Normally, my lord in law, my lords know more than me, that affidavit is to be sworn before notary, both commissioner. But our tribunal's rule, practice rule, I will take 93. Rule say authorized is even the advocate. No high court rule or all. But our this rule I take, my lord, that is affidavit. 83 is I have mentioned there, my lord, if your lordship troubles. This our it is chapter 4, affidavits. Correction. The person authorized to attest. 83, I am referring to 83, your lordship. Affidavit shall be sworn on a form before any judicial officer, registrar, joint registrar, deputy registrar of the tribunal, notary, so and so, and estate, or any advocate. The rule 83, and it further says how the verification sector, my lord. Identification of the deponent in 5 deals with identification of the deponent. So you have complied, identified, but the council is supposed to say, sworn before me, attested. My lord, but this is not affidavit. So therefore, the effect is, in absence of proper, my lord, no CPC says, you revolt it. But at this stage, this is the basic conduct. In view of the seriousness, 4 persons cannot joining together. My lord, I come on the fraud. Today I will assist your lordship. How it is. And then once you do not, my lord, affidavit is not so. Now another part, my lord, I take. This affidavit OA doesn't say, my lord, if your lordship, as we are aware, if some association or files the OA, etc., they say, I am outside, and we also, in case of society, this article of or association. But a swambhu person, court may I authorized, but you may file this application, but you have to place on the card the authority letter that is missing. So therefore, my lord, I am seriously taking these objections, and it is not an application. I have taken your lordship to verification, because this is part of my preliminary objection. I am insisting. I have tried hurriedly. So before I will seek assistance and last page, my lord, to say that there is no authority later. It is that 56 is the last affidavit in the same manner, my lord. And after 56, last one is, so there is no authority letter because I quickly went through. So my lord, two things. Now my lord, the declaration, false declaration. I recollect my lord, many years back when we used to appear there was an application in a similar manner. Council had to, therefore Lakshmi Swaminathan was vice. These are the initial days, my lord. So I take your lordship, this remedy is para 6 yesterday I take. Kindly see. I'm troubling my lord. Because why all this, my lord? A single frivolous application, see, submit, I make a statement with all humility at my command. If frivolous applications have affected career of 1.4 crores who are submitted and are eligible. I filed a affidavit in High Court that there are around 1.4 crores. 0.08. Sorry, man. 1.08.
How many you applied?
1 crore 8 lakh. Sorry, my lord, I stand corrected. वकील का कैलकुलेशन वगैरह पूरा हिल जाता है जब हम लोग आपके सामने
हम लोग की कुल जनसंख्या 140 है ना, 140 करोड़ में से
1 करोड़ 8 लाख लोगों ने अप्लाई किया है और इस फ्राइवलस एप्लीकेशन के कारण इन सब का जो केस है स्टे कर दो यहाँ वहाँ. My officers have been made to come here and there. Now see the intentions. Bona fidity, I am arguing, my lord, bona fidity. My lord, para page 19,
Yes.
I read my lord. The level qualifications, so and so, so and so, who have been tested. The representations, my lord, I read para 6, my lord. That the petitioner have made several representations. I read for my benefits. The petitioners have made several representations to Railway Board, Ministry of Railway, Ministry of Skill Development, to withdraw the sudden change of minimum mandatory qualification. And as I earlier took your lordship through that, and my lords, the representation part, however, बताइए. 1 minute, my lord. That's yes. Page 42 to 48 minutes. One, this is not that a person who comes to court, I remind myself of the equity, your lordships are exercising power under Article 2 to 6, judicial discretion. And once, what I have learned from your lordship, from my right side and my far, that once he goes to court, go with clean hands and plead all material facts. These are the basic law, pleadings and grant of equity relief. Then here are the applicants, how they have verified, and where are the pleadings. I will take my notes. DRM, ATR, ये page 43 पर my lords, 42 start होता है देखें. रेलवे बोर्ड मिनिस्ट्री 13/1/2025 को filed by some, my lord, you see, ASTO, grave, AGTO, my lord, sincerely, I think my
Gaurav.
Gaurav, अच्छा, I'm getting. Then my lord, this is railway board. 42 तक, A10 contains the so-called representation by the. I made my lord in my written submit. I have more marked the point. तो इनका है गौरव है. I think.
मुझे लग रहा है गौरव है अभी.
हाँ, my friend will say. Now my lord, another is DRM. और इन ये है प्रभात. तीसरा जो है ये, और ये किसको है, वाणिज्य विभाग में जाकर के दे रही है. ये जो आप नीचे कॉर्नर पर देखें 9 तारीख का रिसीव जो किया है वाणिज्य विभाग. वाणिज्य विभाग is not the DRM office. Then, my lord, your student type copy, your lordship. Next is
DRM Hazratganj.
Hazratganj. Hazratganj DRM is not railway board. Even, my lord, it is not the railway in law. In law, railway is represented by the general manager. I have occasion to go through. Railway has to be sued to the general manager of the respective railways. There are different railways. My officers will correct. My friend, even my friend may correct. I am not having, but there is a provision Railway Act, and the railway has to be sued to the general manager.
Section 80
Not applicable. Not applicable. No, I am not saying that. That is 80C. It is Union of India and all. But Railway Act is a provision. मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा है. But this is the assessment of law. Now, my lord, I say that Hazratganj DRM is not a railway. आप फाइल करते हैं 19 तारीख को, 10 तारीख को, 2 तारीख का हमारा ये है, और वही जो फाइल करते हैं आप 14 जनवरी का फाइल का. थैंक यू, लगा हुआ. थैंक यू सर. थैंक फॉर करेक्टिंग. मैं तो फरवरी में जा रहा था, इनको एक्स्ट्रा टाइम मिल रहा था, तो 15 दिन के बाद फाइल कर दीजिए. हैस्टिंग. If your lordship in that manner, if you file representation, our section 19 say 6 months. Your lordship has said give reasonable time to the authorities to apply their minds. So this is in haste, without pleading, whole suit. Then, my lord, another one is again RRB Patna 46, 47. RRB पटना. और कहाँ है आप बताइए. प्राप्त किया, सिन्हा साहब का सिग्नेचर करा लिया. गवर्नमेंट में ऐसे होता है क्या? मैं कह रहा हूँ, मुझे सिग्नेचर करा लिया, मेरे क्लर्क से करा लिया, हमारे अभय सर से करा लिया, वो तो कोई भी कर सकता है. लेकिन गवर्नमेंट में टाइम देते हैं, स्टैम्प लगता है, डायरी नंबर. आई एम थिंकिंग इंटेंशन ऑफ पब्लिक. Again, who are qualified. They are PIL. I will come on PIL also. Then, your lordships, that's all. And joining. I read my lord joining application, your lordship, because I am opposing joining also. Page 49. The applicants have filed a company, original applicant, so the content of the same may please be treated. So and so and so and so. The grievance applicant is one and the same. There is court would be test of justice. Again, this is not done. In our MA also requires verification, supported by. This is also not done. Affidavit, same pay, identified by council, but not, my lord, why we fight? Affidavit. Why your lordship insist? Why the law insists? Filing of affidavit. Thank you. Thank you. My lord, I will take through your lordship our procedure rule. 87 rule, my lord. If the verification, how a specific verification, रोल परफॉर्मा का पार्ट है, ओए का पार्ट है. जब हम शुरू किए थे तो देखते थे भाई परफॉर्मा तो देख लें कैसे भरा जाता है. और ये कैट का यूनिट हाईकोर्ट में तो रिट बना लीजिए, लेकिन इस कैट रूल स्पेसिफिकली रिक्वायर्ड परफॉर्मा, एंड परफॉर्मा इज पार्ट ऑफ माय लॉर्ड. इट इज अपेंडिक्स ए अंडर सेक्शन रूल 4 फॉर्म्स, एंड देन इट इज माय लॉर्ड वेरिफिकेशन. I read, my lord, for my benefit and benefit of other councils also. I, so and so, working as so and so, office of so and so, resident hereby verify that the contents of the para true to my personal knowledge, permit me some time to argue these pleadings, because your lordship also find how we are coming with such a pleading.
I've got the gist of what you're trying to say. But I think we are asked for the file.
हाँ, वो है, हम हैं.
I just want to have a look at that.
No, I will give you a statement, but I am having this. I will statement pass this. अभी उस पे भी आऊँगा. What is indicative method? I have done my housework. You have lordship made me to ये है ना.
So you said that
ये है ना. ये है.
in your counter you said na that the process was ongoing.
हाँ, ऐसा है. अभी भी मैं कह रहा हूँ कि हमारा सारे जो रिप्लाई किए हैं सब ओवररूल 2 तारीख का. That is not in charge. I will take your lordship 10 minutes and then come. I am passing. ये दोस्त बता रहा है सीरियल नंबर 15 ऊपर कर दिया है कि कब का है और मंत्री जी का सिग्नेचर कब का है. वो मैंने ये we have nothing to conceal from the court, even for the public. My lord, this is not a case of bias, malafide. But my respectful submission is, this is a case of filing a frivolous and malafide application. Frivolous application, I say.
The clock start ticking. So they change the game on 2nd January. And they say that the advertisement is 22nd January.
Second को मेरा हुआ है.
Second को चेंज किए और advertisement 22 का है.
22
जनवरी का.
28th of December. Oh, I will say that.
वो tentative था ना.
Tentative, indicative. Then I will. What is indicative? I will assist your lordship. I have the extract of Cambridge. I have the extract of
publication 22 जनवरी को हुआ.
My lord, I will be assisting your lordship. The indicative.
मंत्री जी का सिग्नेचर है.
मंत्री जी का साइन देख लीजिए. Yes. Okay. My lord, one thing, my lord. It is for satisfaction of judicial, but my advertisement is not under challenge. There is no question of this. We have taken this. I take your lordship. I am still part of the pleadings. Law should be decided. Rule of law must prevail. मंत्री जी का सिग्नेचर में लास्ट में लिखा है इस तरीके से. 1 जनवरी को साइन था जी, और हमने पब्लिकेशन 1 जनवरी को 2 तारीख को हमने उसको साइट में लगा रखा है. इन्होंने ये भी कहा नहीं है 2 तारीख वाला. इन्होंने अभी और ही है. यस सॉरी सर, आप इधर आइए. 2 तारीख का भी हमने, इन्होंने कल आर्गुमेंट में कहा था कि हमें पता नहीं था. मैंने कल दिखाया था लिस्ट ऑफ डेट्स में पेज 3 पर कि 2 तारीख का इन्होंने मेंशन किया है. 2 तारीख वाला हमने मीडिया में भी पब्लिश किया है.
एक मंत्री जी का हस्ताक्षर हुआ, 2 को आपने ये निकाला.
1 तारीख का है.
1 जनवरी को मंत्री जी का हस्ताक्षर है
हमने 2
और 2 जनवरी का आपका ये आदेश है.
हमने आदेश दिया.
RB नंबर 1/2025.
माय लॉर्ड
तिवारी.
And 2nd January. And my lords.
आप इनके साइन चाहिए UK तिवारी.
And my lords. Not only that. My lord, this was ये न्यूज़पेपर में आया है कि हाँ जी हमने ये किया. 2 तारीख वाला पब्लिश है. मेरे my friend was saying that it was not relied. It was published. That is there, but I have just taken the context only. No, it's not newspaper and not relevant at all. No, I am not arguing. Arguing.
तिवारी जी आपने विज्ञापन कब निकाला?
इंडिकेटिव वाज ऑन 28 दिसंबर और 22 जनवरी को निकला है.
22 जनवरी वाला कहाँ पर है? कौन से पेज?
मैं बता दूं. 1 मिनट सर, 1 मिनट मैं वही बता देता हूँ. मेरे रिप्लाई में आ जाए. 1 मिनट. मेरे
आपका कहना है कि the clock started ticking on 22nd January.
22nd. And my lord may state may come to my yes, your lordship, it is part of page 10.
कहाँ पर है?
Page 10 of my reply. And your lordship know
10 of this.
my reply.
ये तो आपने किया है ना, तो पेज
R2
तो 5 पेज का है
मैं वो नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैंने मेरे रिप्लाई जो फाइल है पार्ट ऑफ द रिपोर्ट रिगार्डिंग
काउंटर में
काउंटर
पेज 5
नहीं पेज 9 R2
काउंटर
दिखा दो माय लॉर्ड Its lordship says it's a complete advertisement.
काउंटर पे लगा
हाँ हाँ मैंने लगा मैं लॉट में R2 इंडेक्स में भी मैंने
पेज है
my lord it is page 10 my lord
पेज 10
my lord ये R2 है
ये 22 को निकला है
जी हमने लिखा देखे ना इंडिकेटिव नोटिस 18/12 डेट ऑफ पब्लिकेशन 22 एंड वो भी मैं दिखा दूंगा कि अपलोड हुआ है मैं during argument I asked my officer show me the I will show this is not their case that it was not on 20th
That's fine.
so therefore however as abundant counsel caution I took I made them to say you will give the proof when we it is a specific confirmation for your lordship that it was published on BARC website. Now my lord I take all this. Should I proceed my lord?
वेबसाइट पे अपलोड हुआ था ये
आज के डेट में सारे एग्जामिनेशन यूपीएससी का ऐसे ऑनलाइन होता है इवन ट्रिपल-एस का तो सारे चीजें हम कम्युनिकेट करते हैं उसी से हमने उसमें भी लिखा है
पेज 26 देखिए हुए था
माय लॉर्ड
पेज 26
यस यस आई एम सॉरी ये
सेंट्रलाइज्ड
इंडिकेटिव है
इसमें भी आपने लिखा है ओपनिंग डेट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन 23 जनवरी
जी
क्लोजिंग डेट 22 फरवरी
बस इतना
एक
लिखा
महीने का विंडो दिया है
इंडिकेटिव नोटिस हम तो इंडिकेटिव नोटिस क्या आता है उसमें मैं बताऊंगा कि इंडिकेटिव नोटिस में मिलोट आपने देखा ये एक पेज का है और कल बताया था कि दिसंबर में हुआ था दिसंबर जनवरी में एम्प्लॉयमेंट में 1 पेज लेकिन advertisement my friend has not completely filed but I have filed the complete your lordship find the difference
तो the clock so the race started from 23rd January
22nd my lord
opening date of application was 23rd January yes opening date of application
अब मैं लिखा है ना
closure date was 22nd February
so that is the thing and therefore saying that recruitment process started on 28th is not law that is a legal question I will satisfy but once my friend missed this criteria court will decide on both parts and I need that the decision of the
ये हमारे सामने मिस्टर सिन्हा 4 एप्लीकेंट्स हैं निरंजन कुमार बबलू
जो
मनीष कुमार और राजेश कुमार
जो
इन चारों में से किसी ने रिप्रेजेंटेशन दिया था
नो
डीएम हजारीबाग को
नहीं मैं तो कह रहा हूँ नहीं दिया था
चारों में दिया था
one of the applicant
ये 4 हमारे सामने हैं निरंजन बबलू मनीष और राजेश
और लोगों का तीन ने तो गलत फाइल किया एफिडेविट और व्हाट इज फ्रॉड लेट मी आर्गू ऑन फ्रॉड once now may I continue with the merits of
पहले इनको सुन लेना सिन्हा साहब
he will say it right he will say it right so my lord 1 minute again kindly see the difference of affidavit this because I will not bother your lordship are at page 10 of the reply my lords
Yes.
that as I said my lord that my friend is referring to the indicative notice he may say indicative advertisement I say indicative notice that 1 page and it my lord it contains details how to file what are the qualifications details CN general instructions so every time the advertisement contains the entire procedure rules and bundles My lords, I would like to Your Lordships, I have said, I will add one more Cambridge dictionary that is I am having it. Yesterday I could not. My Lord, may kindly turn to meaning of civil fraud in context and context of misrepresentation. I insist that the applicants are guilty of commission of fraud in civil law by filing wrong affidavit, making wrong averment in para 6. Your Lordship, a state way para 40 thereof at page 240, Your Lordship. My Lord, the judgment, a state of Odisha, Haripriya, para 4, my Lord. Para 40 and para 40 comes, my Lord. Sorry, my Lord. Only,
Second last page.
my Lord,
258.
my Lord, 254, running
Ah.
page 254, Your Lord.
Yes. Para 40.
It is necessary to consider the effect of fraud. By fraud, it means an intention to deceive, whether it is from any expectation of advantage to party himself or from the ill will towards other, is immaterial. I pause immaterial. Benefit liya, nahi liya, your lordships are very clear. The expression fraud involves two elements, deceit and injury to the person deceived. Injury is something other than economic loss. That is deprivation of property, whether movable or money, or it will include any harm, whatever caused to any person in body, mind, reputation, or such others. In short, it is non-economic, non-pecuniary loss. The benefit granted to the deceiver will almost always cause loss or detriment to the deceived, even in those rare cases where there is a benefit or advantage to deceiver, but no corresponding loss to the deceived. The second condition is expired. Then, your lordship, the act is an act of deliberate deception with design of securing something by taking unfair advantage. What is the purpose of para 6? Because your lordship say where your representation. First, I always find from the benches elsewhere also. Have you availed the? So this is you intended. Acquired para 6 is the very intention of the legislature, the rule making authority. But they have said, now my Lord, God as well known, they say every Solomon Act, fraud and justice never dwell together. Fraud is conduct either by letter or words, which includes other person or authority to take a definite determinative stand as a response to the conduct of former, either by words or letter. Now, my Lord, describing all these, it says, my Lord, last line, one line, my Lord, page 257. It is continuation of that. My Lord will like that. You will also will go through. In the middle, my Lord, dairy peak, what constitute fraud was described in all, my Lord. Last, last one line, your Lord. My throat is yet not fully recovered, so I will also like your Lordship grace. Fraud is proved when it is shown that the false representation has been made. Knowingly, my Lord, what your Lordship said, or without belief in its truth, or recklessly, carelessly, whether it is true or false. So at the best, what can be defended? हमने जल्दी में कर दिया गलती से, but your lordships have taken. Even the negligence, recklessness, And there cannot be more recklessness when you don't verify your application, you don't verify the affidavit, you file the wrong affidavit asserting that we have represented. So, my lord, the applicant's conduct squarely comes under the fraud category, misrepresentation, civil fraud, and therefore my lord, suppression of a material document would also amount to a fraud. Here also, my lord, there was a applicant could have challenged my 2nd January. They know in the OA, basically of the list of witness, they could have waited. There is RTI. Say that if you are, but I say, my lord, that was notified 3rd January को papers में है, मेरे site पे है. But I am supposed to be careful while drafting, filing, making amendments. Then this is not a material fact, my lords will go. The fraud conduct either later what, my lord, then material document would amount to fraud. So this is what your lordship, my lords, one more thing, my lords, no, hardly these are argued here, my lord. Page para 30 next place, your lordship. No judgment of a court, no order of a minister can be allowed to stand if it has been obtained by fraud and reverse everything. In the same judgment, Lord Parker LJ observed that fraud vitiates all transactions known in law of however high a degree of solemnity. So today, even the notice was obtained from your lordships. Obtained, I don't say obtained. They got, we don't obtain. Obtain degree, but right word is, but notice was got issued by misrepresentation. Had we taken, we could have taken that. But the objection of fraud can be taken at appellate stage, exclusion stage, because your lordship says fraud vitiates everything. And even a judgment obtained by misrepresentation which amount to fraud would be vitiated and can be set aside. There is no limitation in case of fraud. So this one part, no application, misrepresentation. Then I again 2 minutes, your lordship. Your lordship, I have filed and I placed my thought that all pleadings your lordship pertains to yesterday I submit, I will not vote
चलिए
that.
ठीक है, we get it.
My lord, now my lord, the A in R1, all previous instructions I have read, my lord, and that it has been by 2nd of January. So, my lord, there is no pleading. This is not in challenge. What is challenge, my lord? And then, my lord, my advertisement at page 10, not in challenge. And what is not challenge? My lord, I have said that the relief is the answer. My lord, I insist all the judgments on pleadings and on pleadings, the court will restrict the relief and decide the issue which is filed before it by way of pleadings. There is no pleading in law, there is no application in law, and I mark both para, my lord.
Everything is done.
You know, your lordship will be very quicker in going through, but our duty is to assist, and I've tried to assist to the best of my capability. Now, my lord, these pleadings, along with that, should be read that there is no rule and no verification at a sector, because my submission in one line is there no pleading as per law. it is not challenged, and affidavit and etc. I have mentioned, my lord. Now, my lord, I will explain and then I will straightway come to the indicative notice, etc. My lord, see what is presumption of constitutionality. Your lordships have already said there is a presumption of constitutionality in the action of act and also the action of the authority, executive. If you are challenging that, you have to prove otherwise. And what is the otherwise? Either you should prove it is result of mala-fide, non-application of my. It is not the correctness. It is the procedure. I will not take your lordship. I have been willing to. So my action, rules, etc. is not under check. The scope of judicial review, your lordship, I am relying upon these three judgments. Mallikarjun Rao said way back in 90 that it is not the function of the court to advise what should be the rule. It is not function of the court to say that what the executive should make. Palcoit, etc. There are a number of policy matters. Then, my lord, Nirmala Mission has relied upon all this high court. I am referring to the all recruitment matter. I say that, my lord, if the rules are implemented as a council, then in that case I will not complete. Court said no, in view of that it is the domain of the executive, we will not intervene. Then your lordship, Sandeep said that what should be eligibility criteria, your lordship. Now with a change of policy. Another judgment, your lordship, I did. Rachna versus Union of India. Judgment number 17, I have quoted in my submission. This and allow me to read two paragraphs. Because that was also related to examination of.
We will note it. 2021 judgment.
My lord. It says in the policy matter, and that was the examination that we are losing chance, we are losing civil services examination. The court says, COVID हो गया, हम नहीं जा सके, पहले इन्होंने relaxation दिया, तो what your lordship says, it will be candid in the bar, my lord. Allow me, my lord, may can you turn?
No,
नहीं पर.
Para 43, 45, we will note it.
I know, my lord.
No need to read.
No, I'm now, my lord, now. I also take, my lord, then I will not read the para, I just. My lord. नहीं वो मैंने कोशिश किया कि अब प्रोड्यूस करूं तो मैं अंडर हेड ही बना दूं ताकि ये रहता मेरे लिए भी आसान रहे. I learned from your lordship daily, from this side also, that side also, wherever I am. My lord, Vedanga Talukdar and the state of Tamil Nadu.
That's what we have learned from you only.
My lord, no, my lord, I have learned. Now, my lord, one other thing, my lord. It also says, my lord, Hemlata and Vedanga, no sympathy, nothing, hardship. Again, my lord, in Sudhir Kumar Council, Allahabad also says, rule of law, no sympathy.
He has to answer on the maintainability.
My lord, now I come another
points on maintainability.
Or this pardon, this एक मिनट I've tried, my lord, then my lord, indicative notice and all that, mostly I said indicative notice is one, but indicative notice doesn't contain, this is intention that I'm going to do a particular. That said, इतने तारीख को एग्जाम होगा, आप मेरा देखिए इस तारीख को खुलेगा, उसमें कहीं भी ये नहीं लिखा हुआ है ये हमारा क्वालिफिकेशन होगा, ये हमारा ये होगा, कहीं नहीं, ये क्राइटेरिया होगी, आप ऐसे भरेंगे and that is indicative. My lord, no, my lord says this, and the indicative is likely to be done.
हम तो फिर रेलवे में ट्रैवल कर चुके हैं, रेलवे का मैटर है, इंडिकेटिव होता है जब सिग्नल डाउन हो जाता है, लेकिन जब तक टीटी झंडे नहीं हिलाता है तब तक ड्राइवर चलता नहीं है। तब हरी झंडी दिखाता है ड्राइवर, वो टीटी वो पीछे होता है, गाड़ी चलती है।
My lord, एक और your lordship, I could
ठीक है, चलो यार।
मैंने एक ये लॉर्डशिप फाइंड मैंने इसमें भी दिया है कि आवर लॉ ऑफ लेक्सिकन और क्या कहता है योर लॉर्डशिप may not when I at least come before court I come with a clear and the court knows the law everything our duty to just remind assist हनुमान जी को भी याद दिलाना पड़ा था जामुन को कि भाई आपके पास पावर है और ये होता है तो my lords क्या कहता है इंग्लिश that something it is true it is likely to happen ये कैम्ब्रिज में जो कह रहा है it is likely to happen my lord next page or your lordship has indicated what is indicative I will not bother your lordship so it is true or likely to happen
देखिए वो देखिए
one thing my lord which is most what is validity of an advertisement being a valid advertisement, what are the criteria? So, luckily, the Honorable Apex Court my lord will see second punch, Amrit Jadhav will lord who says,
अमृत यादव वो तो देखा जाता है।
उसमें what is the requirement of a valid advertisement? And अमृत यादव 15 नंबर पर है उसमें क्या क्या उसके ये है वो दिया है नाउ मिलोड इंटायर मैंने उसमें नोट दे दिया सबमिशन एक पूरे दिन में मैं समअप करता हूँ इंटायर तेज प्रताप पाठक doesn't help by I say the process starts I know that was in the context of a reference. And what is just a minute, I'm sorry. My lords, my friend has huge paras, my lord. It has been written in 3 parts, A, B, C. My friend has argued expectation. There is nothing like in, I have said, my lord, yesterday also, the applicant has no right at all. Even your lordship, right from constitution, then judgment, Sankarshan Das said, even the selectee doesn't have it. And this has been reiterated in this term. Says expectancy at a sector. No, there was no promise that I will not amend them. That it is a decision. Executive has taken a conscious decision. Now, all the paras have marked, my lord, are relevant. Finally, conclusion, it starts from the issuance of the advertisement. I have marked, my lord, will bother Lord's mercy, and he also said, I have marked 1, 12, 22 to 27, 49, 51, all these judgments, my lord, will have. I have marked those paras. And this judgment, we read, my lord. So nothing, no cause, except to Milord, I got a example. What is in indicative advertisement? I got literature and some examples from the sites by the since your lordships, it was in the context of my lord, UPSC is charged And indicative advertisement means indicative advertisement that the vacancies mentioned are only indicated. My lords have already seen, and then my lords will kindly see. It was, there are a number of, my lord, this indicative notice available on site like board, for example. It pertains to indicative notice, my lord, of 2025. It says, my lord, Baman of 2025, Union Public Service Commission. Then, my lord, it was of the Implied Provident Fund Commissioner. Then it later, my lord, why it was, and the last is, my lord, like a similar way, one page. I have not seen any advertisement of UPSC in one page except indicative. Because if we don't, and that I have this, we got the indicative recruitment special advertisement. Only difference, indicative is not mentioned. From my friend is referring to a gentleman that is not mentioned. But it doesn't mean non-mentioning, the things are clear and per law, mentioning, non-mentioning of any word or that will not invalidate what your lordship said. So this is the indicative notice of the UPSC. In service jurisprudence, and my lords, in particularly in recruitment process, it is a well-known fact that why it is given, because you are being, the recruiter always wants the best one. Give some score that a person is may make it ready, documents, etc., start preparation. And my lord, he was arguing of ITI. So ITI will be absorbed in, they did not, they may not have aspired that our engagement in employment only in the railway. Railway do not say who and study ITI and we will absorb. We have a policy, apprentice, etc. This is the one we know. But you are eligible. Otherwise, though there is no applications, they are eligible. Why they don't have to go or compete? I can, my lords know all graduates appear in that UPSC selection. MA भी आता है, IITN भी आता है, डॉक्टर भी आता है, लेकिन जो क्वालिफाई करता है उसको नौकरी मिलती है. The aim is to have the best, intelligent. This is the very purpose of employment through direct process. This is not the case. If you are a promotee, if you want to go ahead, that is a different point. I cannot, my lord, in the morning, I recollect your leadership, though the council was not arguing in the context of the rule, there was a case I was sitting here. The lordship pointed to the council, unless rule, you have got the appointment, basis of the existence rule, there is a sudden change in that would affect the case, then that I may have a case. Again, your lordship pointed out, I think the council did not get it, but nobody was arguing lordship, this I know they come. And my lord pointed, yes, if a rule changes suddenly, basis of which I joined the department and the employer, and it is changed prejudice to my interest involving that I have a case of arbitration. But there is a case. Altogether new appointment, direct recruitment. Tomorrow, an engineer, doctor will start saying, look, I am the doctor, I am the engineer. Where is the question of a graduate being appointed as civil servant? It's lordship, you say executive, you have lordship and number. So my lord,
Okay,
no, my lord,
conclude.
one line out, not only this. This is a case I humbly pray that it should be dismissed with a cost There are ordered one more. My friend has forced me. Frivolous petitions and all. Normally I won't argue. But my friend's conduct, we have been appearing in 1-2 cases. They start saying, he starts teaching me sometimes being quite younger. My kids are more than his age. And I have the practice at part more than his age. Put in his a similar PI. I will not read. But your lordship, I will give a copy to my friend. I will not read. I will not read. Your lordship may say what the High Court says. I restrain.
My lord, I have an objection. This petition was filed and this was argued, and because of the internet connectivity, my arguments could not have been heard by the Honorable Justice. Therefore, 1 lakh rupees cost
No,
was
the
imposed.
court
That has been waived. That has been
Waived
waived
with-
next week.
My lord,
This is not relevant at all.
My lord,
This is very much.
I
very
did
much
not argue.
controversial.
I did
Please.
not argue with certain conditions.
This is very
Last
much-
word. I insist on it. With condition. I tender apology before your lordship. Your lordship, pardon me, doesn't mean, my lord, even a probationer is a criminal is acquitted by the court.
My friend should also apprise this court that the Honorable Supreme Court on my petition of introducing a forensic science investigation in criminal law, which that has been
don't
drawn
argue
on my
against each
petition
other.
itself.
We don't
If
argue.
he is, my friend is showing this, that also must be changed.
No, no.
And that those changes have been made on my petition, on
My
my
lord,
PI.
I think, but this is not a case of privilege. I did not.
So far,
wanted
my
to read-
friend have argued 2 hours, 1 hour, but it's not able to prove that this 28th of December is not an advertisement. It's an advertisement, not an
वो
advertisement.
छोड़िए पहले first you prove
My
that you
lords,
are- Mr. Sinha now I think
my lord, one
it's already
saying ना,
4 o'clock.
ये मैं ये भी कहा था कि हमारा 2 तारीख वाला एडवर्टीजमेंट हमने पब्लिश किया था, इनको भी बता देता हूँ.
That was published. That he is not denying.
Right.
That's why they have approached.
That is not a.
Now, I think the
Yes.
what you need to meet is yes.
Well, I'm
On two
First,
aspects.
no. Main aspect is that you are aware that in the tribunal under the 80 Act, under the rules of practice, you have to file the original applications in a particular format.
Yes.
So that format requires that there should be a verification at the end of para number 12. So there is no verification. Then the affidavit which is attached
I will.
cannot substitute. This is his argument. What do you have to answer to that?
First, I will argue all those preliminary objections which has raised by my friend with the judgment of the Supreme Court in the context of the Supreme Court judgment. So far, Lord, I am just saying that my friend has argued on merit as well.
So yes, he has said that it was an indicative.
Yes, I'm coming on that. I'm coming on that. Before that, Lord, I just want to give a document, my Lord. My friend have argued this all the before of the line.
I don't know. I could did not.
Okay. First words come to 28th of December letter. Page number 26 of the OS. And before that was I have filed the miscellaneous application for amendment of 25 to 24. In the prayer note, we have written CEN 8/25. So this is CEN 8/24. So my lords, if I filed the application for amendment of that word, my lord, that's portion 25 to 24.
It is already 24.
That is not.
That is there. That is even
24.
tradings also there are 24. Now, page 26. Page 26. This is Government of Railway, Ministry of Railway. Again, I am reiterating, my lord, that name of the post. Name of the post, various posts in level 1 of the 7th CPC payment. Initial pay rupees 18,000. Now come to the very important, the post-wise educational qualification and medical standards. Post-wise educational qualification is clearly intended that there are various posts and qualifications will be different. Now come to that. Para 7. Which is recruitment process. For details, please refer para 14 of the details here. Now the question is, they have issued on 28th of December 2024. how a candidate will find where is para 40? And number two,
It says in para 1
I'm
itself
coming.
that will be, there will
Okay.
be detailed CEN.
yes.
And it says in first para, the detailed CEN will be uploaded and link will be.
Correct. Now, the very prima facie contention is that this recruitment, the name of this recruitment comes centralized employment notification number 8 of 2024. And they have changed the policy on 2nd of January 25. Now the question is, applications are invited from eligible candidates for various posts in level 1. And the same they have written in the main advertisement, which has been issued 22nd of January, that date of indicative notice. That date of indicative notice. Now, my lords, when what Tej Prakash Pathak judgment also said, and same as argued, a settled principle of law, and my friend is saying that this letter of 28th of December is not an advertisement. So, my lords, what I am saying, if it is not an advertisement, then what is it? And if my friend is saying that qualifications are not mentioned in that letter, qualification will be given on when the applications will be open. That is okay. Now, if somebody wants to apply for this advertisement on 30th of December 2024, how will he come to going to find that what qualification would be there on 20th?
He will have to wait for the detailed CEN because in any case,
That means
8 seconds. 30th of December is not the date of application. It says this notice says opening date of application is 23rd January.
date of application 20.
He in any case cannot apply on 30th
Appli-
December.
Date is 22nd of January is the date of application. Now, if the qualifications were not there in the 28th of December letter, that means that the qualifications which were existing on that date will prevail. And I can support in the judgment various, but my friend has so far not shown anything that this is not applicable. 2nd January they have changed. They have issued the advertisement 28th of December.
My lord,
And
I have curtailed my
on this point,
just a minute, brother. I have curtailed my argument before your lordship. I could have taken another 1 hour and 2 hours for satisfaction, not for satisfaction of your lordship, not for satisfaction of my friend. I have shown number of judgment, but he is not arguing the replying the preliminary objection.
He said he
No.
I said,
Basic.
No, I am not going to leave him without his answer.
No, my lord, the basic law is to meet the preliminary objection,
First,
then proceed. Now,
My young lawyers, जी करते हैं.
last time भी मैंने इसीलिए नहीं किया. I respected my friends' youth, and therefore I did not.
No,
Otherwise, I have a right to raise first and object that.
So you come on preliminary.
Please,
चलिए ठीक है, we get your.
My lord, I am taking.
that is the
My lord,
main point.
my lord, I am 5 minutes taking this.
हाँ. You can.
My contention is that if my friend would be able to prove that till 22nd of till 28th of December, on the date of 28th of December, if any document they will prove that the qualification which have advertised publicly, that will be only 10th pass, then my lords will satisfy that okay. But so far there is nothing as such, and even the this transcript, so somebody has, I am also giving the certificate of electronic record that these transcripts have been made on the proceeding of the Honorable High Court. And for which, yes, for what purpose? For the purpose.
When you challenge the interim order.
No.
Huh.
Yes, for that time. When the yes.
See what is the value of that? Because we have the order with us.
That is that order is
We
there.
will be
Order is
guided
there.
by the order published by the
Order is there.
Honorable High Court.
And again, I am coming on that, my lord, that my rejoinder, page number 12. Again, my lord, for a moment. Page number 12. The only question is again that whether as the advertisement was issued on 28th of December. My friend have argued that this is not an advertisement, but the court has rejected at first, my lord, that this is an advertisement. Now you please answer that how can you change in this advertisement? So this is advertisement, my again contention.
But that question has been left open for the tribunal to decide.
Yes.
So then that question entails in itself questions of maintainability of your OA itself.
Correct, my lord.
So to address that first.
And that question also entails their right to argue that this 28 December notice is only an indicative notice and it's not an advertisement.
So far,
So you are trying, so you have to do a twin job. First, to come clean on your maintainability. And second, of course, that is the main argument on merit between indicative notice and an advertisement.
I just think that whatever preliminary objection have been raised, अगर मुझे written में देते, I will answer for each and every.
बताओ ना.
Because
We can't
उसको
clear you
supporting-
and not see a by the term.
So far, 11th month have been passed from the date when the OM was prepared. And now they are raising this technical.
नहीं, उसमें से एक ये भी है ना कि the representations are not by the.
One of the applicant is there.
कहाँ पे?
And then why have you said that the applicant's representation are next at this page, whereas there is some other person has signed that?
तो गौरव
Isn't
ने
that
किया.
a playing of
There,
God?
what happened? I'm coming. The issue pertains to all India recruitment. Therefore, various across the country students have filed the representation. And one of the applicant, उसका नाम क्या है? मैं बता रहा हूँ. I will give the on record. I will give that this person has given the representation. His sign is there. मैं उस पे written में भी दूँ. तो वो objection में जितने भी है, I will answer in the written. तब मैं written में answer करने वाला. Because orally it's not permissible. Orally, what is today is what this case is. What my friend is again and again reiterating that this is a fraud, this is a fraud, this is a fraud. The question is, what fraud and how you have deceived with my fraud? If I have not signed, made the verification, how you are going to affect it? How you have affected with this? You have not affected. Your facts are very clear. My facts are clear on record. Advertisement I have placed. Readings.
Alright, who are you? That will be identified by the verification only.
That is the है ना affidavit में दिया हुआ है.
डेबिट ही नहीं है मैं कह रहा हूँ. अभी जो
It is no public
है
बब्लू कौन है? नीरज कौन है? कौन है ये? राजेश कुमार कौन है?
हाँ, memo of parties are there.
इनका रिप्रेजेंटेशन तो है ही नहीं.
एक का है
किसका
मैं
बताओ?
बताऊं.
किसी का ही नहीं. जो आपने लगाया उसमें नहीं है.
दिखा दे किसका?
गौरव का है. DRM हजारीबाग
नहीं,
को.
नहीं, उसका नहीं है, उसका नहीं है.
आपका तो नहीं है. मैंने तो नाम भी गिन दिए थे.
चार ही लोग हैं इसमें.
आप तो चारों में किसी का
मैंने
रिप्रेजेंटेशन
कल
नहीं है.
देखा, मैं बहुत सारे डॉक्यूमेंट सिस्टम में थोड़ा टाइम
ये जो आपने हुए को
बट मैं कल रिटर्न में आंसर कर दूं किस व्यक्ति का यहाँ पे रिकॉर्ड. आई विल आंसर
कल नहीं
बिकॉज इट विल टेक टाइम.
ये रिप्रेजेंटेशन की बात तो पिछली डेट पे उठा दी थी।
निरंजन कुमार, बबलू, मनीष कुमार, राजेश कुमार, इनमें से किसी का नहीं है.
मैं देख
और एफिडेविट कहाँ साइन किया?
और ये नहीं, मैंने रिप्लाई कब का फाइल किया है, हाईकोर्ट में भी किया है. उन्होंने आज अमेंडमेंट की बात इससे अब तो लिस्टेड नहीं है. लास्ट में यदि हमें अमेंड करो, there are stages. I can argue on that also, but
Lord, I have come up with the point on this, that whether amendment could be allowed at this stage or not. I have that.
Yes, मेरा आपसे प्रश्न श्रीकांत ये भी है कि इस OM में आपका कहीं पे राइट वायलेट हुआ है, अंडरमाइन हुआ है?
Yes,
आप परीक्षा दीजिए.
उसकी रेफरेंस में भी I have the judgment.
आप परीक्षा दीजिए. आपको तो इसमें डिप्राइव नहीं किया गया.
If I will,
अगर आपको डिप्राइव किया होता है तो आपको लोकल टेंडर होता.
if I will appear in the examination.
1,08,00,000
1 करोड़ 8 लाख
है भरा है. आप भी कंप्लीट कीजिए ना. और आप तो ज्यादा क्वालिफाइड है.
Now
आप ITI पास है, NCA पास है.
questions will be of 10th level, my lords. It is not a level playing field, my lords.
लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड. आपको you are more than the higher level playing field.
Once the qualification have been relaxed, my question, I totally agree with but I'm totally agree with my friend has said that they are the wholesome authority body to frame the policy. I admit, yes, correct. But my main case is that their advertisement is issued on 28th of December. They have changed on 2nd of January. So the qualifications which were existing, that is applicable. That is one line my case. प्रिलिमिनरी पे मैं फाइल कर दूंगा. फर्स्ट वाला अमेंडमेंट एप्लीकेशन का लॉट सुनना है because that is it's listed my lords today. But it's today listed.
Once it was partnered, listing कैसे हो सकती है?
It is listed.
चलिए ठीक है.
only my one thing will be, your lordship decide either way. I don't know. But on both my preliminary objections
Yes.
as well as your query. For the reasons, my lord, if it is decided, I know it will go to. I need that it both should be decided. I'm careful, my lord.
Lords, amendment application is listed for today. Kindly have on the cause this matters. That is there.
Once the matter has proceeded for final hearing,
But-
on your insistence that there is urgency, in midway, once they have opened their cards and raised all the objections, there is no procedure for to file an
That is
amendment.
there. Amendment can be allowed at any stage before pronouncement of judgment, my lord. That is a 5 judges bench Supreme Court saying, my lord.
Yeah, so
There is
no
nothing, there is
satisfaction.
nothing.
My lord, even this order 6 rule 17 says
27 says.
इसका अंदर आपको ले लिया
तेरे जितना नहीं पढ़ा हूँ लेकिन
File-
आप
file
जानता हूँ ना।
में photocopy है ना?
किसी का signature
हाँ, ये file बस लीजिए।
जी मैम
और रखते हैं।
There is
Amendment पे भी एक बार
Order reserved है
orders are-
I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for patience hearing.
ऑडियो अल्ट्रा पार्टम हो गया है। Excellent. PNG has been approved.
चलिए, thank you.